Right then, boys and girls, welcome back to a new video, and in this one we're into the Football League. First couple of games of the season. Let's get into it. Hello guys, David here and welcome back to episode number 38 of Hometown Hero. Hope you're all well and had a good weekend. In this episode we're going to be playing the first two games of our journey in the Sky Bet League 2 in the Football League as a professional outfit, and they're going to be away from home against Lincoln City, I think it is, and at home to Carlisle United, so you will get to see something from the newly named stadium in this episode. But before we get into all of that, we do have to run through everything to do with new players, levers and stuff like that as well. So we've got a very much a new look squad. We've got some fantastic players that I'm really looking forward to you guys seeing as well. So if we go into the transfers, let's just go back and let's look at the people who have left in the first instance. So released players, of course, we mentioned Alexis Andrew Jr. In fact, that's actually the wrong year. Let's go to this one. So Jamie Bradley Green, Cameron James, Tom Purrington, Marcus Day, Owen Moore, Kieran Price, and unfortunately Dom Savage have all left us to move on to pastures new. Dom was the one I was really disappointed about because of course he has got some potential, so hopefully he'll come back, but he's actually gone to Gloucester, I've just noticed. So we'll keep him on the shortlist. We'll keep an eye out for him and see if he gets on. Dom, if you want to name a new player and want to set this guy back to someone else, that's fine. Just let me know and we can sort that out at some point. So they're the ones who have gone. I think that's all. I don't think it changes if we go on to free transfers. It doesn't. So let's go into the people that we brought in for the start of this season. Okay, so if we start off with Dan Brennan, he's coming on loan from Plymouth. He is a right winger. As you can see, he's got some very good attributes. I'm going to talk through a tactical shift as well in a moment as well, which this kind of fits in quite nicely with. But if you look, he's a good dribbler, good first touch, needs to work on the cross. If he's going to be an out-and-out winger, definitely something he needs to work on. He needs to probably get a bit quicker as well. But he is only young. He's only 18. And like I say, we've got him on loan from Plymouth till the end of the season. So he looks like he's going to be a nice option down the right-hand side. And then we've made a number of bits of business in the last, since the summer as well. Of course, because we are joining the Football League, the games start in August, so we've not really had a huge amount of time to get the squad sorted. So there's probably still a little bit of business I'd want to do, but I'm quite happy with the squad at the moment, barring maybe one or two positions. I'll come to that in a minute. The first one is coming in is Dayan Hughes-Jones. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Quote JDFM, fellow content creator who gave me instructions on how to pronounce his name. So I think I've done it right. It's been a while since I looked at what he said, to be honest. And he is a right back come centre back. He's probably going to be more of a centre back for us. He's not that tall, but again, he's 20. There's maybe a potential to grow an inch or two if we're lucky. But he's a good tackler on the ball. He's good at marking. He won't necessarily be a proper defensive centre half. I think he'll play on the cover and maybe sweep up behind because he has got the pace if we need to. But yeah, we got him in. It was a pre-contract deal and he looks like a really good option. At least got really good potential as well. So hopefully he will he'll kind of build into that as time goes on. Next one we actually paid for this guy, and it's the first one we've actually paid for ever since going back to Jamie Bradley Green when we brought him in from Taunton, is Niels Frank. Now, I was duped into this one a little bit, I've got to be honest. I regret the decision. I don't think he's as good as I was hoping he would be. He's a good option to play at the left back and he's a good option to play at the base of the midfield. But his attributes are nowhere near where I want them to be yet. And he was touted as being a really good potential player. And I don't think he will be. It is the honest answer. I think we've been duped by Waterford when we bought him. They made a loss on him as well, I think. If we go to his history, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they bought him for 155k and sold him for 40. So, yeah, probably not the best move I'll ever do in this series. But who knows? He might turn out to be decent. We'll have to wait and see. Next one we brought in was Sam Perry. He's coming on a free. He is a box-to-box midfielder. One of my new tactics that I'm going to be trying out at points in the season does need a box-to-box midfielder. And he seems to be a pretty good option there. He's still young. He's only 23, so there's definitely some potential to improve there as well. And he's training well, which is quite nice to see. But yeah, physicals look really nice. Mentals look pretty good. Technicals probably the bit that need a bit of work. But now that we're full-time, those things should start to go up as well. That's the plan anyway. So he's a good option to bring in there. This guy, Arthur Okonkwo, is an absolute demon. Look at this goalkeeper. I mean, this is ridiculous stats. He's 6'5". He's got an aerial reach of 18. Good command of the area. Handling his one-on-ones are good. He's got good reflexes rather. Good agility. He's a really, really good goalkeeper to have. Now, he is not going to completely replace Callum Rollins. Callum Rollins is definitely going to be my second place goalkeeper, and he's definitely going to play every single cup game we get into. He's going to be there. And if Callum starts and continues to perform, then it gives us a chance. So it's good to have an option, but we've missed an out-and-out proper quality goalkeeper since probably the first season when we had Alexis in goal, and he was way too good for that level. So I'm hoping he can do a job for us, but very, very pleased to manage to get him in. He is being paid quite a bit of money, but the benefit of being in the Football League, at least Leagues 1 and 2, is there's a salary cap of 29k. So the board literally went, look, that's your wage budget, done. So we're actually looking pretty good in terms of that at the moment. Next one we brought in is a right back, Kane Kessler. Again, looks like a cracking option for us down the right hand side. Really, really quick. Look at the pace, the acceleration and things like that. He'll play as a wing back for us, and he can play on the wing in the 4-4-2 as well. Getting crossing, still not too bad. Most likely going to be a replacement for Brooklyn Genesini, mainly because Brooklyn's still in the club, but if he's being paid pretty much the same amount of money, but is a significant amount better, I think. So again, rotation will be part of the game, but he's probably going to be our first choice right back coming into the season. Sam Rodber, he came from Coventry, that's who it was. Typically, he's going to be a centre forward. That's his best position. He's got finishing 15, which is fantastic. But I'm probably going to play him on either one of the wings. Probably on the left wing, I would imagine. Because he's right-footed, and like I say, he's got good finishing on him. He can play as that inside forward role. That's probably what he will do. Good dribbling, as you can see. Needs a little bit of work on some of these things. His technique, for example, could probably do with a little bit of work. And he could do with being a bit quicker as well. But again, still time to get those stats up, and he's got fantastic potential as well. So I'm really pleased to have him in. Jordan Turnbull, he's just a utility option, to be completely honest with you. He'll probably play at the base of the midfield mostly in one of the tactics I've got, but can play centre half and can play left back as well, which is a nice option to have. If he's going to play either any couple of positions, it'll be centre half and the base of the midfield. As you can see, he's got some good attributes for the ball winning midfielder and a centre back as well. Decent height, good header of the ball, jumping reach isn't too bad either. But really, I'm one of those players in Football Manager that always goes for younger players. So I've gone for this guy just to give us an option and bring a bit of experience into the squad as well, because we don't really have a huge amount of that at the moment. And the final one, at least for now, is Danny Edwards. Again, he's going to be an option for the base of the midfield. As you see, attributes, good amount of yellow ones in there. He's nice and pacey, so he's got some great physical stats on him, which is good for a ball-winning midfielder because he's going to be running around quite a bit, obviously, to try and get the ball off people. Good tackler. He's got a great work rate, and he's quite aggressive as well, and his determination is pretty decent as well. So again, another really decent looking option for us. There's probably room for improvement across the grounds in terms of the midfield and things like that, but I'm happy with what we've got at the moment. And obviously, this is very much going to be a consolidation year. We just need to avoid those final two positions, because they're the only two that get relegated. So we need to be careful in terms of that. But I think get a good couple of games under our belt to begin with, we're with a good chance. The other thing to mention to you is the stadium. So, of course, we're not playing at the Salisbury Stadium anymore. Big thank you to Toon Manic for the suggestion. We are now officially playing at Victoria Park, which I think is a fantastic name for the stadium because, see, those of you who know Salisbury, it's probably the main place in Salisbury itself where you can actually put a football stadium. My gut feeling, it's going across that river that runs through the middle of the park. I think that'd be awesome if you could get it to do that. Probably not very good from a structural point of view, but I think it would look cool. The other thing to bear in mind with the new stadium is we have got a 1,000 capacity expansion coming in the next month or so, mainly because we needed to do that to cooperate with the league rules. That's what it was. I did mention it in Friday's episode. I wasn't sure whether we would stay in the stadium or whether we'd move somewhere else. I'm really pleased that we're staying in the stadium. I did do a quick little look through the editor in the game and just to see what the maximum capacity is, and we've got a couple of thousand still to go as well. I think we've got about 7,500 that we can move into, so pretty happy with that. Final thing before we go into the first game is the season preview. Of course, we are not anywhere near looking like a team that's going to get anywhere near the top end of the table. We are favourites for relegation by 100 to 1, but we were 500 to 1 when I first got into the league. So I'm hoping we can do a bit better. And as you can see, Okonkwo and Rodber are our best players. And you see the 4-4-2 there. But like I say, got another couple of options that we can look at as well. But we'll go into the first game and we'll show you what this team's looking like, shall we? So if we go into that, I haven't had any games just yet. Let's just... I clearly haven't clicked it continue at the right time. We are in the Papa John's trophy as well, but I think that's a complete waste of time. If I'm being completely honest... I'm pretty sure I haven't made any changes to this team. No, I haven't. This is good, isn't it? I'm really prepared for this episode. Let's do the quick pick and get this in the way. This, as you can see, is our other tactic that I'm going to be playing. I've binned off that 5 at the back one because I never really used it. It was never really going to provide any sort of benefit. But this is the other tactic we're going to do. I'm actually going to stick with the 4-4-2 for today's episode, for today's first game at least, while we get into the swing of things. And let me just have a quick look through the team just to make sure we've not missed anyone out. We've got a very beefy squad, but a lot of these guys are still on trial. Because, like I say, we are still trying to get more people into the squad. We still need to do that. Rollins needs to be on the bench rather than Huddart. But team-wise, in fact, actually, there we go. Rodber's not going to start this first game. And I think Thistleton can go on the right-hand side as well. I don't want to change it too much too early, but we do need to obviously give other people a chance as well. Sutcliffe, yeah, he's out injured. I thought he was out for a couple of days. Of course, he's back in on loan as well, but I think I've mentioned that before anyway. So this is going to be the team that's going to go out for the first game away from home to Lincoln. And it's going to be a Okonkwo in goal, Mason, Turnbull, Janyeva and Kessler, the back 4. We need to switch him to a wing back instead, and then we're going to put Mason as a full back so that we don't annoy Southend, because that's actually what they want him to be played as. Hemmings, Chambers, Perry and Thistleton in the midfield, and then Aaron Owen and Tommy Wright up top. So let me just check this. It's probably not the best position he's going to be playing in, and we'll put Perry in as the ball-winning midfielder instead. There we go, cool. We're all good. Apologies, didn't have that sorted in the first place. We'll do automatic squad numbers because it doesn't really matter what they get. And let's get into the first game of the season. I mean, it's going to be an interesting season. We are, of course, going to be underdogs for 99% of the games that we're going to play today. I think it's probably this season, is fair to say. But like I say, get a couple of results on the board, get a couple of games under our belts, get a couple of wins, hopefully, or just even avoid defeat. And we're going to be in for a decent chance, I think. We've just got to try and keep our heads down, get some results when we need them to, and we'll kind of build on it from there. Like I say, I'm going to be really interested to see the difference in the squad and how they improve now that we're full-time as well. Of course, being in the Football League, have to be a professional team. So we have to now be full-time contracts. So everyone is now in Monday, or 7 days a week, pretty much, unless they got a rest. But the first 35 minutes, it seems to me like we've held our own a bit, to be honest. First highlight on now, Lincoln City on the break. And there you go. I was going to say, I thought that was offside from Hines there, and it was, fortunately. But, I mean, look at that. I mean, we've ran the offside trap nicely there, just about. I think that's Janyeva, or it's either Janyeva or Turnbull who stood there doing that. But we've got a chance now. Chambers with the ball in. Goes straight back to him from the defender. Gives it to Perry. Takes a shot. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, Sam Perry. First game of the season. Start of the season. Oh my goodness me, we are 1-0 up away from home to Lincoln City. And what a start to the season we have had so far. We've held our own in the first 35 minutes. We've got back up the other end of the pitch. And with our first... No, we've actually been dominating this game. Goodness me. I was about to say with our first shot on target that we've had. But we've actually had quite a few, which is interesting. We've been the better team so far. I'm very pleased with how things are going. Praise at half-time when you're 1-0 up is never the done thing. But... I'm liking this, boys. We need to keep it going. Lead so far. Chambers with another corner. Tries to get it on the head of Aaron Owen and scores. Oh, my goodness me. We've freshly promoted team and we are doing the dirty on Lincoln at the moment. 2 goals from corners. Aaron Owen's got himself on the score sheet for the first time this season. He's got a new contract. He does have a release clause in it of £325,000, if my memory serves me correctly. So we've still got potential to get him... Keep him with the club / sell him on for a decent price if we need to. I'm going to make a couple of changes. I'm going to bring on Sam Rodber and James Brennan. Is it Dan Brennan, sorry. Sam Rodber and Dan Brennan. They've come on for Thistleton and Tommy Wright, just to give some new blood a chance as well. But I mean, I'm pretty happy at the moment. He says as Lincoln get in, but what a save that is from a Okonkwo. Deary me. Good start to the season. Very, very pleased with this indeed. Very, very nice indeed. We're hopefully going to try and get out of this with a win. We'll make one final change. Turnbull's probably been the one new signing who's not necessarily been too fantastic, but we can bring on Danny Edwards there who can play in the centre half position as well, just to get him off and give another guy a chance to get a game under his belt. But coming out of this, being 2-0 up with 87 minutes on the clock is not what I expected at all. Wowee. And it looks like, yes, started off the season with a win against Lincoln City, who I would assume are probably favourites to go up this season. They're not normally this far down the league. I'm pretty sure they're in League One in real life at the moment. Just go and have a quick look and see where they are in the season preview. They got relegated, so we've just beat newly promoted Salisbury, beat newly relegated Lincoln City. Wow, what a result that was! Right. Well, I suppose we just need to go to Victoria Park now and see if we do the double in the episode and get a win over the next team as well. Alrighty then, folks, time for the game against Carlisle. You'll notice I said the next team in the last clip because I forgot who it was. I've just remembered as well, we actually got 7 substitutes now. We're back into the big leagues with 7 subs. We're going back. We're sticking with the 4-4-2 because it worked really well last time. Defensively in particular, looked really nice. So Okonkwo is going to be in goal. Luke Mason has picked up a knock, so he's dropped to the bench. So Turnbull shifted over to the left-hand side, and then Dan Edwards has come on in the centre pairing with Andy Janyeva. Kessler retains his place at right back. Hemmings, Chambers, Perry, and Thistleton is the midfield 4 again, and Aaron Owen and Tommy Wright is the top 2 pairing once more as well. I mean, it'd be great if we could actually get another win, wouldn't it? Because we could be off to a right stormer of a start. And it's good to see. We'll have to see what the stadium's looking like, because of course we've got building work going on at the moment. So I imagine we've got part of a stadium missing. But look at this, it's full. Oh my goodness me, that main stand is completely packed. Is it here we've lost a stand? I don't know. I can't tell at the moment. We've only lost like 200 seats, I think. So we've not necessarily lost a huge amount, so it might not even be noticeable, I'm not sure, but we'll see. We haven't been at the other end of the pitch yet, nor have we seen the behind us, so who knows. But Perry, getting into people early doors, which I'm liking that. I'm liking at the moment, which is very nice. But Carlisle are passing it around pretty nicely. This is what we've got to be aware of course, being a newly promoted side, and Kessler gets in a tackle, but it bounces back to him. It's bouncing around. Oh, dearie me. Chambers manages to get rid of it. That could have been, well, it was a comedy of errors to an extent there, wasn't it? Fortunately, it didn't end up going the wrong way for us and ending up in a goal, but Carlisle definitely seemed to be a bit more of a challenge than Lincoln were, but Tommy Wright's picked up the ball. He's managing to run alongside. Picks up Jack Chambers. Oh, Jack Chambers. Oh, my goodness me. I was going to sell him this summer. I wasn't even planning on giving him a game this season, to be honest. He's actually requested a transfer. He's had 2 assists and a goal in the first couple of games. Goodness me. Tommy Wright does all the work there. He picked up the ball, ran so far with it, ran slowly enough to bring all the other forwards into position, and picks out Jack Chambers, who tucks it away. Lovely stuff. But Carlisle have got a free kick. Ball comes in. Okonkwo's easily going to claim that one. I can't see any difference at the stadium, so maybe there's just little seats that aren't there. Aaron Owen gets the ball off the free kick, nods it down to Tommy Wright, who puts it in. Come on. Oh my word. What is happening? What on earth is happening? I think there's definitely less seats, or maybe Carlisle have just brought less players. Of course, it's less fans rather. It's a bit of a trek from Carlisle down to Salisbury. So unsurprisingly, if they haven't brought a full complement of away supporters, but we are looking really good so far to start this season. This 4-4-2 doing bits so far this season, and we're playing it around nicely at the moment. Aaron Owen plays it to Hemmings, who gets the chance. I thought that might have been a penalty. It looked like one of those camera angles, but it's not. So Carlisle have got a chance. Bell's been placed in here. Is he going to make it 2-1? He's not. What a clock! What a block by Andy Janyeva. That was lovely stuff. That from that man. Really coming good over the last half a season or so, which I'm really pleased about. He was moaning about game time, and I hate it when people moan about it and then don't play very well. He's actually earning, in my opinion, he's earning the chance to be in this team, and he's playing really well as a result. And despite the fact Carlisle have had more shots than us, we are the ones with the advantage going into half time, it looks like, which is awesome. Very, very pleased indeed. Very, very happy with that so far, chaps. If we can do another 45 of that, I'll be very pleased indeed. I am going to tell them I'm very happy. We'll drop some praise again, because we are absolutely playing our way out of trouble in the start of this season. 2 games in, we've not conceded yet. Still time, because we could concede now, for example, which we don't, fortunately. We could concede at any point, and I'm amazed and chuffed that we've managed to look what looks like absolutely pack out Victoria Park, which is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to bring Sam Robber on instead of Aaron Owen this time, so we'll make that change. Dan Brennan can come on the right. I might bring off Miles Hemmings at some point, but we'll see. Whilst we're on the topic of people like Miles Hemmings, you may have seen on Twitter, and you may have seen around the Salisbury FC website, the Facebook page, Twitter page, stuff like that. Really, really want your support in terms of the Stars Appeal charity, guys. If there's any players you want who have got regen faces, you know, the little weird, like, computer-generated faces, Hemmings is one of them, and he's permanently a member of our squad, whether it's youth intake or not, please let me know. And drop into the link below, drop in the description rather, hit the link for the Just Giving page, donate a £5, which is a cup of coffee in most places these days, and we can get you into the game. And I really want to get a load of support going for the Stars Appeal charity. And like I say, it gives you guys a chance to get into the game as well, which would be fantastic. So make sure you go and check that out before you disappear today. And while you're here, subscribe and hit the like button as well if you haven't done already. That would be fantastic, as is that result. Goodness me, we have turned up in League 2 so far. Wow, I did not expect that at all. I thought with the first 2 games we were going to lose them both by a pretty comfortable margin. Instead, we've come out of the first 2 games top of the bleeding table. Kane Kessler's out with a groin strain, so that's less than useful. We'll keep him out we won't play him in the next game, so we won't worry too much about that. But it means that Brooklyn Genesini's going to get some points. But, oh my goodness me, Salisbury go top of the Sky Bet League 2. Who would have seen that happening at this point? I mean, what start? Wow, I couldn't have asked for any more, really. I don't know why have we got friendlies in here? Cancel those, please, gentlemen. Not having friendlies in the middle of a season, silly. Nowhere near enough time. Anyway, we'll come back for, well, I mean, we've got plenty of games we can play this season, haven't we? Because there's no teams we've really played before at this level, apart from Aldershot, who we played last season. So we'll probably come back in a few games. We'll come back for the Newport and the Salford games. I think 3,500 nearly came to that ground. We have a capacity of 3,790, so we just slightly under, but that could be to do with the away fans that Carlisle have brought. But anyway, that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. If you've enjoyed it, as always, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and as always, love to hear your thoughts in the comments, particularly on things like the new stadium name and stuff like that, and your thoughts and goals for us for the rest of the season. But that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. See you again on Wednesday. My name's been David. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.